Kate was sitting on her bedroom floor, drawing on her notebook. Anyone who saw her would think that she wasn't right in the head. At her age, she was no longer a small child to be playing with colored pencils. Moreover, her doodles were almost childish. She drew objects and letters in a very erratic way, and afterwards she would tear up the page, throw it aside, and continue with the next one. She would insistently draw the same figure, a humanoid being with a slender body and extremely tall. It had long and thin arms which almost reached its knees, and its face was completely blank with no facial features. Around it were some trees which looked like firs, just like the firs in Kate's backyard. That's where she first saw it when she was little, while playing with her friend CR. Its ghostly and threatening appearance peeking from the depths of the forest scared them, and they immediately ran away, preventing the creature from getting closer. They saw it a couple more times, lurking in the distance, and although they never ended up being near it, they could always feel the threat of its presence. CR and Kate decided to make a silent pact and not tell anything to the adults. They wouldn't believe them anyways. They stopped talking about it, and as time passed, the feelings of threat disappeared, and they forgot about the creature until a few weeks ago, when tragedy struck Kate. Her mother, the only family she had left, passed away, leaving her alone in that remote house in the middle of the forest. It was shortly after coming back from the funeral that Kate felt that threatening presence again. She refused to think it had come back, but one day, when looking through the window, she froze when she saw that sinister figure standing on a hill. She rushed to close and lock all of the doors and windows in her house. She didn't dare to come out of her house that day, and she wouldn't answer calls from her friends who were worried about her absence. That day, she could only sleep a few hours, and when she finally woke up, she noticed that the presence was closer to her than ever. She started to hear noises and steps around the house and immediately locked herself up in her room. She was so scared and worried that she mindlessly started to draw those figures. The same figures she would draw when little, and which she kept hidden from her parents. The bedroom door was burst open, and she saw the creature up close for the first time. She could see how black tentacles emerged from its back, which floated sinuously in the air and looked ready to attack. Kate panicked and didn't know how to escape. She looked at the window, and without thinking it twice, she jumped towards it, breaking through the glass and landing on the hard ground of her yard. She was in pain and full of cuts, but had no time to wail. She rushed towards the forest to hide, silently supplicating for that being not to find her. She looked down and found a strange note beside a tree. It was a piece of paper with a doodle similar to the ones she used to draw, with a warning written down. "Don't look, or it takes you." Kate thought that could be some sort of help, maybe clues left by someone, like her friend CR, to be able to escape that monster. She desperately tried to search for more notes in the forest. It was getting dark, and she could feel that presence getting closer and closer. She managed to find other 7 notes with more warnings, but none of them explained how to actually face that being. After searching through the forest all night, she fell to the ground and on her knees, exhausted and out of breath. She felt dark tentacles starting to surround her, blocking her path. Then a spectral voice whispered, "Don't leave. I have plans for you, Kate." At that same time, Lauren was parking her car in front of Kate's house. They were very good friends since they were teenagers, and although they went their separate ways to go to university, they always kept in touch. When Lauren learned about the passing of Kate's mother, she got very worried. She tried to comfort Kate through video calls, but day after day, Kate was looking stranger and more somber. When Kate stopped answering Lauren's messages altogether, she got on her car and crossed half of the country to see Kate in person. Lauren rang the bell several times, but nobody answered. To her surprise, the door was open, so she carefully entered the house, but nobody was there. Only filth, food leftovers, and a big mess everywhere. That worried her even more, so she rushed upstairs to Kate's room. She was shocked when she saw those sinister drawings scattered on the bedroom floor, as well as the broken window. Scared, she started crying out for her friend, until a small voice answered from behind her. "I'm here, Lauren." She turned around, and at the door she could see someone similar to Kate with her same long and dark hair. However, she was wearing a hoodie as well as a white mask covering her face. "I'm glad you came. Someone has entrusted me with a new mission, and you are precisely the first one who will help me." She showed Lauren a long and sharp knife that glowed in the darkness. Lauren, perplexed, couldn't react as Kate rushed towards her, stabbing her several times. From the broken window, a somber face with no features observed the scene.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!